Okay, so if we want a needle up a trapezius, one of the ways to do this is to slide off the occiput, slide down to C2, then just roll just above C2. If we slide our other hand over the mastoid process, so the mastoid process splits our fingers, so we end up with sternocleidomastoid either side of our fingers. Where the index finger lands is just on the lateral board of trapezius. So from here, what we can do, we can just slide on over, find tight bands in here, insert the needle into here. And we'll first move in through trapezius as our layer 4A, then 4B will take us through splenius capitis, then semispinalis capitis, and then down to obliquus capitis inferior. If we want to really make sure that we hit obliquus capitis inferior, if we drop off here now down to the spinous process of C2, and our finger drops just anterior to the inferior aspect of the mastoid process, so we can find the transverse process of C1. So if we look at our fingers now, and I'm using my middle finger here to locate that transverse process and my thumb to locate the spinous process, I can then use this index finger if I want to manipulate the tissue to make sure the needle's directed in the right way. So if I take the needle across, so I'm moving about 2/3 over towards this finger, so I'm not going right out of the trapezius, I'll move out to about here, insert the needle, and we'll take this perpendicular straight down. Where we should end up, the terminal position should be on the lamina of C2, and on a neck about this size, we're probably going to need at least a 50mm, potentially a 70mm needle, because this is the true depth of the transverse process down here. Now this finger stays in contact with the transverse process, so it gives us the safe depth, but also the width, the lateral position that we can go out to with the needle. This finger is going to stop us from wandering lateral, because what we can do with this finger is we can guide the needle back in. What I don't do here is I don't direct this needle right in towards the center of the lamina and so on, because we need to make sure that we don't get anywhere near the apertures in between the spinous processes. So I'm going to direct PA straight down to the lamina in this position. Now, if you're going too far in and you feel that you're passing this finger, then draw the needle back, because this is your safety indicator here. I keep this hand in contact while I'm needling, and I'll take the needle straight down. We can do this at multiple levels, but as we move down, we still need to find the transverse process, spinous process, move down. We won't be obliquus capitis inferior any longer. We'll just be trapezius, splenius capitis, semispinalis capitis. But this is how we can safely and effectively needle deep into the neck. If we combine this with our anatomical knowledge and our anatomical videos, we can work out where we need to be. The needle can go all the way down to the lamina, but we must make sure that this finger is indicating how lateral and how deep we can go.